If you want to take control of your life, you don't need to wait for the day when a random breakthrough delivers you the insight you need to change. In Master Your Emotions, Thibaut Meurisse provides a practical guide to help you jump straight into the driver's seat of your own life, steering yourself in the direction of inner peace and what you truly desire. Managing emotions. Your brain is intended to help you survive. When you think about it, your chances of being born were incredibly slim. All the generations before you had to live long enough to reproduce in order for this miracle to occur. Therefore, your brain's fundamental goal is to keep you alive, not to make you happy. Thus, rather than wanting to be happy because it is your natural condition, you must take control of your emotions if you want to be happy. Your emotions are influenced by more than just your survival mechanism. Your ego has a significant impact on how you feel. To have better control over your emotions, you must first comprehend what your ego is and how it functions. Your ability to comprehend how your ego functions is determined by your level of self-awareness. People at the lowest levels of awareness are unaware of the existence of the ego and are enslaved by it. Highly self-aware people, on the other hand, can see right through their ego. Still, emotions can be difficult to manage. You'll be able to regulate emotions more successfully if you grasp the process underlying them. To begin controlling your emotions, you must learn to let them pass without becoming overly identified with them. Allow yourself to be sad without adding comments such as, "I shouldn't be sad," or "What's wrong with me?" Instead, you must let reality be what it is. Healthy habits. Sleep deprivation can have a variety of negative consequences on mood, as well as a detrimental impact on our ability to appreciate pleasant events. It has an impact on mortality and the economy as well. Make sure your bedroom is completely dark. According to several studies, the darker the bedroom, the better we sleep. Electronic gadgets should be avoided. This includes smartphones, tablets, TVs, and other similar devices. Drinking too much water within 2 hours of going to bed is not a good idea. Allow your thoughts to unwind and create a nighttime routine. Exercise has both immediate and long-term advantages for your mood. According to Michael Otto, a professor of psychology, moderate exercise generally has a mood-enhancing impact within 5 minutes. You may change the way you feel by adjusting your body language and posture, as your emotions follow your body. In fact, when you're confident or pleased, your body expands. Have you ever observed how when males view a beautiful lady, their backs straighten, their chests expand, and their stomachs tighten? Your thoughts also have an impact on who you are and the world you live in. Therefore, you should focus your thoughts on what you want rather than what you don't want. The secret to success is to focus our conscious attention on things we desire. Your words have a greater influence on your thoughts and actions than you may realize. Because your ideas, words, and actions are all linked, they have an impact on one another. Meditation may be highly beneficial. When you meditate, you become aware of the never-ending stream of thoughts that enter your mind and learn to separate yourself from thoughts through effort, diminishing their strength and influence. Furthermore, you may teach your mind to experience more good emotions by employing visualization to evoke pleasant sensations like appreciation, enthusiasm, or joy. You may last days without eating or sleeping, but you can only last a few minutes without oxygen. While breathing should come naturally, the truth is that many people don't know how to do it properly. As a result, they produce less energy than they might. Breathing correctly has a number of advantages. Slowing your breathing can help you feel less anxious, while rapid breathing enables you to relieve tension, increase alertness, and increase energy, among other things. Always take care of your surroundings, for they have an impact on how you feel. Everything in your environment has the potential to influence you in some manner. Cleaning up your messy desk, for example, can offer you a boost of energy. You may also incorporate music. According to several studies, listening to upbeat music might make people feel better, so you may take it a step further by tailoring playlists to your emotional requirements and using the power of music to train your mind. It takes time to create playlists, but it is definitely worth the effort. Conditioning your mind. Negative ideas gain strength as a result of your inclination to identify with them frequently. The more you think about your fight with your friend, for example, the deeper your sentiments of bitterness will become. The following formula describes how emotions are formed. Interpretation plus identification plus repetition equals strong emotion. Accordingly, negative emotions are always the outcome of how you perceive situations. As a result, two people may react to the same situation in different ways. People frequently feel compelled to identify with their feelings and are unable to separate from them. They are oblivious to one of life's most essential truths. You are not your feelings. Emotions will come and go throughout your life. The way you understand events is inextricably related to your basic life assumptions. As a result, it's crucial that we first investigate the assumptions that underpin these interpretations. Emotions are energy in action, but what happens if the energy isn't allowed to move? It builds up. You disrupt the natural flow of energy when you suppress your emotions. Most of us have an excessive amount of emotional baggage and must learn to let go of it. We need to clean our subconscious minds and let go of the bad feelings that restrict us from living fully. You must first become conscious of your emotions by being more in touch with your body and how you feel before you can begin to let them go. Then, to gain control over your emotions, you must comprehend the role that your ideas play in the generation of emotions in general. Certain emotions are triggered by your ideas, and these feelings in turn produce additional thoughts. Then the thoughts and emotions feed off one another. Positive thoughts are deposited in the minds of confident individuals every day. They congratulate themselves on their modest victories and treat themselves with kindness and respect. They anticipate wonderful things to happen. People with low self-esteem, on the other hand, constantly assault their minds with negative thoughts. They dismiss their achievements as no big deal, unable to see their own strengths and the positive intent behind their efforts. You'll fall prey to your own disempowering tale unless you know how to cope with unpleasant emotions when they arise. The first stage in conditioning your mind is to determine which emotion or emotions you want to feel more of. The next stage is to set up a specific program that will allow you to feel that way. The final stage is to feel that emotion on a daily basis. Your sentiments will shift in lockstep with your conduct. It can happen quickly, such as when you undertake a job to distract yourself from minor rage, or it may take weeks or even months if you're dealing with severe emotions like sorrow or despair. To minimize unpleasant feelings, sometimes all you have to do is avoid the conditions that cause them in the first place. Perhaps seeing your friend's apparent happiness on Facebook makes you feel inadequate. In certain cases, you can spend less time on activities that cause such feelings. Negative emotions, positive purpose. Emotions help you grow as a person by reminding you of something you already know. You need to improve your life. Your emotions will get louder the more you disregard them. For example, experiencing a stress-related feeling is a sign that you should make adjustments in your life. It might entail escaping a stressful situation, fixing the issue, or altering your perception of it. One thing is certain: something needs to be done. How effectively you can regulate your emotional state is mainly determined by your capacity to identify when you're over the limit. You can't modify an emotion if you aren't aware of it. When you're focused on obtaining anything, whether it's praise, attention, money, or power, you're acting out of fear. When you behave out of love, on the other hand, your main emphasis is on giving. Record your feelings for a whole week in order to shed light on the emotions you're experiencing in your daily life. What unpleasant feelings did you have? What triggered these feelings? What are the unmistakable facts? What exactly happened in the real world? What were your thoughts on the facts? To feel that way, what would you have to believe? How did you return to your neutral state? What could you have done to avoid or reduce these negative emotions? When you have a skewed self-perception, it's easy to feel inadequate and fixate on your flaws while ignoring your accomplishments. Despite what most people think, stress does not exist outside of yourself. Thus, no circumstance can be considered unpleasant in and of itself. Emotions are the outcome of how you perceive experiences. You've added your own interpretation to what's going on just by experiencing tension or any other emotion. Otherwise, you'd be living a stress-free existence. To deal with anxieties that may arise from stressful situations, start by categorizing your anxieties into 3 categories: things over which you have complete control, things over which you have some control, and those over which you have no power at all. Now, write down what you could do about matters over which you have some control. What specific steps could you take to address them? Can you let go of your urge to control things over which you have no control and instead accept them? You likely are making the mistake of assuming that others think about you a lot more than they actually do. People, for the most part, are unconcerned about you. It's truly freeing, though it sounds sad. It implies you don't have to be concerned about what others think of you. You are not in charge of other people's opinions. In reality, it's none of your business what other people think of you. Your duty instead is to convey your individuality to the best of your ability while maintaining the highest level of integrity. Your negative feelings are there to serve a positive purpose. Resentment exists to remind you that you should love yourself and prioritize your mental health above everything else. Your mental health must take precedence above being right, exacting retribution, or disliking someone else. Depression encourages you to let go of your ego and re-establish contact with reality. It urges you to live more in the present by getting out of your head, which can only recollect the past or predict the future. When you're afraid of doing anything new, it's usually an indication that you should do it regardless. Fear denotes a fantastic chance for personal development. Procrastination is mostly a psychological problem. While there are helpful strategies for dealing with procrastination, learning to correctly control your emotions is usually the key to overcoming your proclivity for procrastination. Lack of drive typically indicates a lack of a compelling vision to pursue. People who have a compelling vision are rarely unmotivated. While they may face failures and become upset along the road, they swiftly recover by reminding themselves of their goals.